Wow, guys. Wow. Number one, it feels like it's been so long since I've done a pre-pregame live. We've been home for a stretch of games. I've been going to a lot of games. Shout out to all my friends for inviting me to games. And yeah, it seems like I haven't done one of these in forever. But tonight is a special night. It is a special night indeed. Oh, welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button. Smash the like. Share with a friend. Thank you very much. And if you didn't know, tonight is a huge night for your New Jersey Devils. First order of business, the Devils looking to claim the first in over 2 years, the elusive 4-game winning streak. Shout out to, I believe it was Pucks and Picks, who gave me the stat that the Devils have failed in their previous, I believe it was 12 attempts. So since January of 2023, the Devils have won 3 games in a row 12 times, and each time found a way to lose in the 4th game to prevent them from getting the 4-game winning streak. Looking to get it done tonight against the Boston Bruins. I am hoping that we finally get over the hump. It's been entirely too long, and in the end, I've told you guys that, I don't put too much stock into that. It is, it's a nice thing to get. In the end, you could potentially win a cup without ever winning 4 games in a row, but it would be nice, I think, for the boys to finally take care of business and get that 4th consecutive win. It's been over 2 calendar years, which seems completely insane. And then obviously, more importantly, your New Jersey Devils, guys, I can't believe I'm saying this with a week to go in the season. Your New Jersey Devils have a chance to clinch a playoff berth tonight. Whew. I can't believe it, guys. A point in this game will punch the Devils' ticket to the postseason. And oh boy, I want both to happen so badly. I want to win for the 4 in a row. I want to punch our ticket to the playoffs. And there's just a lot riding on this game. Now, obviously, the Devils are, at this juncture, it'd be nearly impossible to blow this thing to get into the playoffs. But would love to see it. 4 in a row and a playoff berth can be solidified tonight against the Boston Bruins. Jacob Markstrom in net for the Devils. Jeremy Swayman in net for the Bruins. As many of you know, the Bruins gave him a fat contract, and subsequently he's kind of fallen off a cliff. I know a lot of Bruins fans aren't particularly happy with him. There's a lot going on in Bruins land in Boston. Kind of a mess. They trade their captain. Wait, what is this? Let me pull up. What are Swayman's stats on the year? Oh, brutal, guys. Jeremy Swayman, after getting that bag, got paid the big contract. His goals against is .308, and his save percentage is .895. Oof. 21 wins in 55 games started. That is absolutely dreadful. Wow. I mean, I knew it was bad. I didn't realize it was going to be that bad, though. Goals against of over 3 and a save percentage of under 900. Brutal stuff. Absolutely brutal stuff after paying the man. Wow. But yeah, Markey back in there for the Devils tonight. Hopefully he gets this done. Hopefully he continues to look like the Jacob Markstrom of old pre-injury. Sheldon Keefe sticking with the same lineup. We got Nace, Nico, and Bratter on the top line with Halla, Mercer, Meyer on line 2. Then we got Palat, Dowling, Tatar, line 3. 4th line, Cotter, Glass, and Sprong. And then in practice, the extra line, the 5th line of Foot, Lazar, and Bastian. But it will be interesting to see how this lineup kind of shapes heading into the playoffs. It seems like the Cotter, Glass, Sprong line is one that Keefe really likes. And Foot, Lazar, Bastian could be the 3 guys on the outside looking in. Same D pairings: Luke Hughes, Brett Pesce, Dumoulin, and Kovacevic. And then Dylan and my man Seamus Casey still in the lineup for tonight with the extra pairing of Chalowski and Nemitz. I'm sure Nemitz is probably, stewing over this. But you guys know, I do think Nemitz is going to be a good player. I've talked about this a million times, but I am intrigued by the offensive upside of Seamus Casey, maybe despite some of his, D-zone deficiencies at the moment. I just think he brings a different element that, not many guys, especially on our blue line, have. And on nights where we've had difficulty scoring, it's nice to have a guy like Casey back there who might be able to produce something. So, I am curious to keep an eye on Seamus Casey tonight, see how many minutes he plays, kind of see if he, earns a little more trust of Keefe. And what a story it would be if we come full circle and Seamus Casey ends up being on the playoff roster, at least to start. Started off the season in Prague for the Global Series, and to be able to make his way back despite going down to Utica several times and spending the majority of the season there, to end up on the big club for the postseason would be huge for him. But, Keefe was asked today if Dougie Hamilton could return for the first round. And the way Fitz talked on that podcast, it seemed like, I'm kicking something under my desk here. It seemed like Dougie and Siegenthaler both were going to be gone no matter what we did in the playoffs. And so I kind of wrote it off. And like, once they say that, I'm like, okay, if anything, usually they're a little more optimistic. But when he kind of openly said like, they're probably done no matter what, I just, kind of set my expectations in my brain to be like, okay, well, we're without both of them. So we'll see how we do. But now Dougie's been skating, I think, for almost a week maybe. And, they asked Keefe about him today, and he said, we don't know yet. We got to see how things progress, yada, yada. But, I mean, wow. Dougie Hamilton potentially returning to the lineup for some point of the first round would be ridiculous. What a boost for the group to get Dougie back, and then, kind of force Casey back out, obviously. But you want the experience. Dougie, obviously, a ton of experience, big body, brings tons of offense. Would love to see Dougie come back for the playoffs. What a boost that would be for the team. But I'm super jacked up, guys. Hopefully we get this 4 in a row. Hopefully they get the win, and that will punch our ticket to the postseason and a rematch, long-awaited rematch. 2 years to me is an eternity to not make the playoffs, with the Carolina Hurricanes, the team that has had our number for so damn long, with a chance to get some revenge. And I hope all the guys that were on that team, which there's a ton of them, on that 22-23 team that had their season ended by the Hurricanes in round 2, remember what it felt like to go through that handshake line and be knocked out by them. Brat, Nico, Timo, Dougie, now Tatar's back, Mercer. I mean, there's just Luke Hughes. Hopefully they remember, and hopefully they are itching to get some revenge. But yeah, first we got to get there, and we got to take care of business tonight. 4 in a row, playoffs punched, would be absolutely sick. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Zupa Maki, let's go Devils. Mike Les says, come on, you beauties, hit the like. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. Amagi, I'll be there tonight hoping for a pop for the clinch. Real nice. Of course you're going, Amagi. I want to live your life. Amagi's just touring all NHL arenas. I think he's been to half of them this season alone. He's going to games that aren't even featuring the Devils. He's just all over the place. But speaking of touring arenas, I have to say, I almost forgot, your boy Ace was very fortunate. Shout out to my longtime friend from childhood elementary school. My boy Pat has been a longtime suffering Islanders fan. He has an Islanders partial season ticket package, and long story short, invited me to go to the Islanders Capitals game on Sunday, where I witnessed NHL history. The grade 8 Alex Ovechkin scores his 895th goal, passing Wayne Gretzky for number 1 all time. And it was phenomenal to see a moment like that. Hockey history. I don't think that record will ever get broken. I did a vlog for it. Check it out. I just dropped the link in the description if you're interested in seeing that. I have a lot of cool footage from that game in the vlog. I just put the link in the chat, but it was awesome to be able to see that. And, he still has next year, assuming he doesn't retire, which I can't see him doing, but who knows? He very well may end up pushing that. And that's assuming he only plays next year, but the record should be like 920-ish. Ridiculous stuff. Even if he ends at 920, that's 23 seasons of 40 goals. 23 times 40, 920. Yeah. I mean, who's breaking that? I just can't see it ever happening. And who knows? Maybe the guy will get crazy and want to continue to play for a few more years and try to hit 1,000. Highly unlikely, but wow, that record is going to be above 900 for sure. Congratulations to Alexander Ovechkin. The guy's been dominating the league for 20 years. It's been awesome to kind of follow his career, and it was awesome to be there. So check that out if you're interested. I just put the link in the description. What's up, Max? He says, get it done tonight. They better. I cannot see. I believe this would be, 0 for 12. So if they somehow don't do it tonight, they would be 0 for 13 in the past 2 years. 2 years and 2 months, actually, in a fourth game to get a 4-game winning streak. I mean, it's just so crazy. Max says, don't play down to lesser competition. I mean, yeah, the Bruins are just bleeding. Absolutely bleeding. It's crazy what's happened to them, but, it seems most teams have their runs like that for so long, and then there's the inevitable nosedive. The Blackhawks are going through it now after being blessed with Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves for all those years, and now they're kind of in their rebuild with Connor Bedard. And so, it's inevitable. But the Bruins, it just kind of happened so quickly. Markstrom was traded. They traded a couple other guys. Swayman's not doing much, and here they are. Bruins fans are heartbroken, and I totally get it. Devil Heaven 77, hello, Fockers. Let's get a clinch, boys. Oh, I want that clinch. It'll be a celebration tonight here in the post-game live. Jay Snow, if they can't get 4 in a row tonight, it's never happening. I mean, it'll eventually happen, but it'd be crazy for it not to happen. What's going on, Phil? Jay Snow, playing for a playoff berth, how much motivation do they need? You would think that it's there in spades. All of the motivation is there to want to win this game and to go out there and perform and get the game won. Lobs, do you remember the Rangers fans were saying who's in the playoffs and who's not last year? Well, guess who's in the playoffs and who's not now? What a fall from grace for the 23-24 regular season champions. My God, they win the President's Trophy last year, and here they are. They're going to be golfing in about a week. What a brutal reality for the Rangers and their fans, but I will not shed a tear for them whatsoever. Devil Heaven 77, Ace, good to have you back, brother. How's things, Chief? It's going, man. I've been running around, went to a lot of games, went to Long Island for that Ovechkin record. I feel a little run down in my older age, but I'm revitalized by the New Jersey Devils getting back on the ice tonight, looking to get that 4-game winning streak and secure their playoff spot. Michael S., I'm confident about getting number 4 and clinching tonight. Oh, man. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. Phil, shame Jack isn't healthy. Yeah, it is. Obviously, this would be a much more exciting time if we were fully healthy with Jack and Dougie and Siegenthaler, but it is what it is. This team has found a somewhat of a new identity in the past few weeks, and they've been playing playoff hockey. The pre-playoff tournament has been basically going on since after the Four Nations break, and every game matters. We went through our little struggles. We had some little winning streaks, and here we are right on the verge of clinching a playoff spot, and how beautiful it would be for it to happen tonight. Jordan Hope, I'm feeling good about this one. I'm feeling good too. I will say, after beating the Wild in that home and then going back to the Rock and smacking the Rangers on Saturday, it felt great. Watching them all file out again, it was giving me kind of vibes from the playoffs Game 7 2 years ago. Kind of, I mean, obviously not the same scale and whatever else, but just like a little, a baby version, if you will, of that, because I think walking out of the Rock that night, the Rangers fans felt as though their season was over, and by and large it was. I forget what the numbers were, but they were like in low 40s, I think, % to make the playoffs heading into that game, and with the loss, I think it put them in like the low teens. And they're done. Rangers are done. Stick a fork in them. Jay Snow, let's not let this linger. Just clinch and get it over with. For real. Don't want it to be one of these things where, they missed and we have plenty of time. Just get it done tonight. Seize the moment. Rise above. Seize the moment. Close it out. Get this stupid 4-game winning streak and get our ticket punched to the playoffs. Steven, I'll laugh my ass off if they lose because the hockey guys won't let us win the 4 in a row. Hopefully they find a way. I want to see a dominant game from Markstrom. I would love to see some bottom 6 scoring. I would love to continue to see Nico Bratter and timomeier get it done. Our big 4 is now down to the big 3, but they've had a pretty good few weeks for those guys. Phil, Money Puck has them at 99.99% to make the playoffs. Yep. It would take ridiculous things for them not to make it. Double Heaven 77, this is a good problem to have. Also, let's go in hungry. Yeah, got to eat. Come out there like salivating dogs. I would like to see the return of heavier, edgier, more violent. I'm very curious to see kind of how that all develops. But, yeah, come out and play like you did in that Ranger game, and it should be good enough to get a win. defensively responsible hockey. Capitalize on your power plays, and penalty kill got to show up when we're shorthanded. Special teams is going to be huge in the playoffs, huge for the Devils, and both their penalty kill and power play have been pretty damn good all season long. Hopefully that continues. Michael S., I'm looking for Cotter to have a big game. I love Paulie Cotter. Shout out to Paul Cotter. Set a new record, single season Devils, most hits in the season. But I will say it is kind of not necessarily misleading, but the stat's not nearly impressive. It's impressive, but they only started tracking hits, I think, in like the 2006 or 7 season. And so, it's still great, 18 years, 19 years of keeping the stat that he has the most hits a Devils ever thrown in a single season. But I do wish we had some numbers on the guys before. And yeah, Cotter right now has 235 hits, and he's 10th overall in the league. 10th overall in the league in hits. Great stuff for Paul Cotter. Indeed. Hopefully he comes out smashing some people and we see some of those silky mitts score some goals. Devil Evan 77, let's go out and dominate. No, hang around. I would love to see it. I would love to see a smashing, just a complete domination. Would love to see it. We haven't seen a lot of them as of late, lately. I mean, that Ranger game was I was very confident with the 2-goal lead going to the third, but a lot of us still have PTSD from some of the meltdowns we saw most recently on the epic scale. Would be that Calgary game, which was super painful. Phil, so regardless if the Rangers lose any game, we get in, right? I actually think we need the Island. I think if the Islanders lose tonight, regardless of what happens with the Devils, we would clinch as well. But let's not count on the out-of-town scoreboard. Let's take care of it on our own accord. But I'm pretty sure if the Islanders lose in regulation, let me look at this thing. I'm pretty sure if the Islanders lose anyway, I think if the Islanders lose, I'll have to double check it. But there is a path to get in if we don't win tonight. If I think the Islanders lose, but let's just win. Let's just win and get that 4 in a row. Jason says Boston wants to lose for that pick. James, we got to win tonight. We win and we clinch. We clinch with a point as well. We could lose in the shootout or overtime, but I want to get the win and get that 4 in a row. Let's light up Swayman like a Christmas tree. That'd be nice. Yep. Phil, Seamus, Casey back in. Nick, thank God Carolina took the 10-game losing bullet for us because we would be doomed if they came in on an 11-game losing streak and us possibly winning 4 in a row. That'd be a guaranteed L. I mean, maybe. In the end, I think the Devils playing the way they have been as of late could definitely pose a threat to beating the Hurricanes in the first round. I know a lot of people think it's crazy, but I don't really think it is. Especially with Markey playing the way he's been. If he continues to play that way, in Markstrom we trust. Jacob Markstrom could drag this team pretty far, I think. Jay Snow, I don't care to see Bashner and Lazar again. I think a lot of people feel that way, but, I wouldn't say that the quote-unquote new look bottom 6 has been lighting it up per se, but, it's definitely something to keep an eye on to see how the playoff lineup shakes out. But I do think if I had to bet, it seems like Keefe likes the lineup that he's rolling out tonight that we saw the last game, and barring injuries or, some sort of horrific performances for these guys, I do think that's probably what we're going to start the playoffs with. But if we get waxed in the playoffs in a game or two, you've seen it time and time again. Keefe may very quickly then, pluck a couple guys out, put a couple new guys in. It's nice to have that luxury if you think that will benefit you, with matchups and whatever else in the playoffs. But I do think he's going to go in with that fourth line we're going to see tonight. Phil, no point in trading Nemitz now with his value tanked. I don't know if it's necessarily tanked, but I definitely believe that it is substantially lower than it was last year or even earlier this year. I'm not set on trading him, and I'm definitely not opposed to it either. If there's a sensible deal that makes sense, then, I would be willing to explore it. But we will find out. If I had to pick, or if I had to guess, I don't think that I don't think he gets traded. I'm just looking at but we'll find out this offseason. Max says Amanda Stein says most likely Markey again. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be Markey. Devil Heaven 77. My boy Seamus looked great versus the Rags. Brings a totally different dynamic and treat on the blue line. No, I agree. I like Casey. I think he's going to be a great player. I think ideally we wouldn't want to kind of be thrusting him into the playoffs this year. If we didn't have a ton of injuries, this wouldn't be a thing, and he would, maybe get his chance next year. But maybe he'll seize another opportunity like he did when he got on that jet plane to Prague for the Global Series coming out of camp. Max, any news on Arseny? He's referring to Gritsuk. I'm seeing conflicting stuff on here. I've seen conflicting stuff. So, yeah, I'm just trying to find it. I don't know if this is a credible source. This is what I hate about all this shit with online stuff. But there's some Hockey News Hub is an X account. And, all these things seem to be credible. He's got a lot of followers, and it seems like he's a KHL guy. And again, take this with a grain of salt. I'm telling you, I'm still trying to verify if this is credible or not. But it says, developing story per Archer. I'm not even going to butcher this dude's name. Devils prospect Gritsuk will sign his ELC, entry-level contract, after his contract expires with his KHL team, which is May 31st, 2025. And then he wrote, things change quickly. We'll be keeping eyes on this for sure. So, the dream of him joining the team for the playoffs could be dead. And then in other news, Gritsuk posted goodbye to his KHL team, St. Petersburg, on Instagram. So people are reading between the lines like, does that mean he's gone? Who knows? I think some of these GMs or whatever play hardball. I think sometimes it's maybe an effort to get money out of the NHL team. There's so much shady stuff with KHL teams. And so we'll keep an eye on this. I would like to see him here as soon as possible, but we'll find out. Nothing concrete as of yet. Just seems like a lot of speculation. Phil, if Dougie made it to the playoffs, start and Grits came, that'd be a huge boost. And then Arseny, that's what I just read, is going to sign after May. That's what people are saying, but who knows? That could change at any moment as well. Devil Heaven, we don't have to worry about burning these young kids out. Play them. Yeah. No, I agree. I like seeing kids play, but I think, getting Dougie back and not having to have Casey in the playoff lineup would be pretty beneficial. Philip says Dougie stinks at defense, though. He's not as bad as people make him out to be. Does he make some blunders? Absolutely. But in the end, he's definitely defensively more well-rounded and better right now than Seamus Casey is, So in the end, plus his offensive upside. Devil Heaven says Dougie in for first round game one. Hopefully that'd be amazing. Jason knows that they said Dougie's not that close yet. Who knows what's really going on? Yeah, who knows? It could be all smoke and mirrors. And that, they might know that he definitely could be back. We're not going to know till it happens. But I'm hoping he does come back for the playoffs. That'd be amazing. M. Sharp says Dougie slap shot. What a slap shot he had. I do think the pec thing kind of hurt him, but he still could snipe him. He usually utilizes snapshots, and he has a nice wrister, and he could kind of pick and, hit specific spots. Still has a great shot, but it's just not as much with the slapper. Yeah, to be fair, Dougie's clapper is all but gone. Phil, Carolina may get Nicohischier too. Yeah, everyone's trying to get the KHL guys over. It's the Dougie wrist shot now. Max, Dougie hasn't been upgraded to a practice jersey yet. Just watch the Devils account. If he's activated, he's good to go. I'd imagine they're going to play it safe and maybe only play him, if he is ready to go, only play him one game maybe just to kind of shake the rust off a little bit before the playoffs. But who knows? Maybe he will come back in the playoffs. M. Sharp, he just needs to take a few steps closer to the net. Michael, I got to say, winning tonight would be sweet because I was definitely sweating making the playoffs at all a month ago. I think most of us were. It was very much in jeopardy. There was tons of people that were like, oh, the Devils are definitely making the playoffs. But it definitely seemed in jeopardy for a while. It was nothing guaranteed to me, especially with the way we were losing some of the games. It seemed demoralizing. My low point of the season was probably, there was a couple of them, but I think watching the Jets kill us at the Rock on trade deadline day, I was so demoralized from the deadline, and then to get killed at home like that, I was just a broken individual. After that game, I was like, it's all over. I really thought we were just going to just tank and suck for the rest of the season. Jay Snow, every friend of Aces has season tickets to a hockey game. Not all of them, but several for sure. M. Sharp, great for you, Ace, on seeing Ovi do it. Yeah, it was awesome. It really was. It would have been, I mean, it was cool just to be there, like to see warm-ups in the arena buzzing and all the people and all the hoopla. And if he didn't do it, it still would have been awesome to be there while he had the chance. Like every time he was on the ice, you could hear the buzz in the crowd. But then to see him actually do it in his first game after getting 894, it really was incredible. And like I've said before, I was able to see Marty win 552. And different, obviously. Marty was my guy from when I was a kid. So a little bit different when it's your guy and your team and you kind of watched it all unfold. Obviously, watching Ovechkin from a distance, like not as a Capitals fan, but as a fan of the league, to see it, it was a beautiful thing to see. I've always rooted for Ovechkin. I've always liked the way he played when he run guys over. I mean, wow. And he's just been dominant for 20 damn years. That's crazy. Ovechkin. Props to Alex Ovechkin, man. What a player. Max, Aces, powerful friends in powerful places. I don't know about that. But, Jason, no, those tickets were insane to the Islanders game. Yeah, there was like after Ovechkin got the second goal in the Blackhawks game, I think it was Friday night, the tickets started to surge as everyone wanted to obviously be in the building to see Ovechkin take a crack at history. It was wild. Are you talking about Ovi wants to play in the KHL after the NHL? I could totally see that. Max, Ovi still needs 49 for the playoff plus regular season goals. That's probably close to if he doesn't play beyond next year, then he's definitely not going to get that. Actually, I'm not going to say that because with the playoffs this year and the regular season next year and potentially playoffs yet next year, he definitely has a shot. Max, Ace, you coming up to Boston next week? I'm not sure. I got to talk to my buddy. Actually, it's on my list of things to do. It's definitely a potential. Devil having Gritsuk second line tonight? No, I don't think so. Gem Card took a little break from the Devils. They were making me go insane. Officially back today, boys. Missed you, Ace. What's up, Gem Card? I had to. You had to go in hiding, I guess, during the bad times. But yeah, welcome back. The boys are on the verge of doing something special tonight. Winning 4 in a row and punching our ticket to the playoffs. Where I got to keep an eye on the clock here. Oh, we got plenty of time. New York Raisins. What the hell's the New York Raisins, Brett? Nick, Rags fans have been such saying we care about games more and they don't give about the Devils. Rangers fans are just sore losers. It is what it is. Let them cry all they want. Their tears are absolutely delicious. They didn't have any problems flaming the shit out of us last year when we missed the playoffs, when they won their big regular season championship for President's Trophy. And now here we are, shoes on the other foot, and they're in their feelings. It is what it is. Husky, I don't care about 4 games in a row. I want 4 rounds in a row. I agree with you, but it would be nice now that we're here once again on a 3-game winning streak, with a chance to get that 4. We need to get it. But 4 rounds obviously matter much more. Jace, no, I'm not celebrating until we got an X next to us. Hopefully in about 4 or so hours. James, speaking of Rangers fans, did you hear they were pissed about I still don't know if that's pronounced. Someone enlighten me. I still don't know is that GIF or GIF? I forget. The Devils posted the day after beating them. Yeah, I saw some of the people crying online. It's ridiculous. I mean, I would never cry about the Rangers taunting us. That is the rivalry. Like, when you lose, expect to get trolled. Like, that comes with the territory. Samuel says we need an extra bottle if they win tonight. Jesse Shannon, what's going on? Let's go, boys. Jay Snow, but we've seen these letdowns before. They're playing great and they lay an egg. Hopefully not tonight. Hopefully tonight is not one of those nights. And a lot of people thought that maybe in the second Wild game and they answered the bell. A lot of people are like, oh, after beating the Wild for 2 games, they can have a letdown against the Rangers, and they came out and played well. And so, you know, hopefully there is no letdown, and this team just keeps playing competitive games, win or lose down the stretch into the playoffs. Oh, like I wonder what the record is for most even strength 5-on-5 goals. Oh, let's use the Google. Nah, it's not easy to find. Of course it's not. Nothing's easy to find for hockey. It's unfortunate. I mean, it would probably be it's interesting. I would have to imagine, even though they both scored tons on the power play, it would have to be one of the guys in the top. Let's see. You know, all the top goal scorers always obviously get power play time. Yeah, I mean, if I had to bet who has the most 5-on-5 goals, I'd have to believe it's one of the top 4, either Ovechkin, Gretzky, Gordie Howe, or Jagr. Oh, wait, hold on. There is a thing for power play goals. So 5-on-5. Oh, wait, this has shorthanded too. All right, give me 1 second here. I don't know why they're making me do math, because they give you the goals and then they give you power play and shorthanded. So Ovi has 895 with 325 power play goals and 5 shorties. So we back out that 330, and that gives us, he has 565. Well, I guess that wouldn't count. Let's just say it technically doesn't count like 4-on-4 and stuff, but let's just assume that there's not going to be many of those to skew it. So Ovi's at 565. And then you got Wayne 894 minus 204. And then 73 shorties, which is crazy. 617. And then Gordie, yeah, so I'm not even going to do the math there. That's going to be under 600. Jagr has 2. Yeah. Seems like Gretzky. Definitely seems like Wayne in that department. My Bob 36. Bruins beat YH. What is YH? I don't know what that is. Del 1177. It's great being the backbreaker for those rags and bolts last night. Rangers suck. Yeah. Lightning gave him another big loss. Love to see it. Let's get this win tonight and punch the ticket. John Mick, nobody's given us a chance in the playoffs. I like our chances just like 95. It would be nice to be a sneaky team to just get into the playoffs and to start surprising people. I do think there's other teams in the mix that are dangerous. I do think Ottawa is going to shock a lot of people. You know, But Jacob Markstrom, guys, the X factor. If he plays like he did December and January in the playoffs, and the big dogs for the Devils are the big dogs, and we get a couple little, bottom six, maybe it's a Tatar goal, a random Sprong appearance, maybe a Cody Glass, anything could happen. Maybe a little defensive goal production, shock the Canes, and then go to round 2, and then maybe stun another team. And then, oh my God, now we're in the conference finals. It'd be insane. Devil Heaven 77, Cotter's been a different player since Keefe sat him for a game. Love it. Yeah, in the first game back, he came flying out for that sick goal. He took a penalty, and then he came out of the box and looked like he got shot out of a cannon. Yeah, Max, Islanders have to lose if we lose. I would just like to win and not worry about what they do. The New York nobody, don't worry. New York teams won't do anything. Michael S. Ace, I need a special winter beverage for tonight. Suggestions? Can never go wrong with, I don't know. Depends on what you're in the mood for. I like all the surf sides are very good. I always like a tequila, maybe a Casamigos Anejo. Husky Unchained, 99.99% to make the playoffs. Gretzky on our side. Gretz loves the Mickey Mouse Club. Michael S., hit the like, boys and girls. Thanks. Hit the like for your boy. B-Poi, let's go Devils. Devil Heaven 77. Isles, Preds tonight. Real barn burner. I will take it. Let's just take care of business tonight. Gem Card, for once we have better goaltending in D-men than Carolina, we definitely can win. I believe in Markey. And when he's on top, we could be deadly. Grind out some 2-1, 3-2 wins. Vic's going on. Max, if we lose and Anders lose, we still don't clinch. Rangers would have to lose their next game in any fashion. Okay, I'm going to take your word for it. Alex, crazy how we used to see Luke and Shimon as near equal prospects, and now Luke has become our number one D-man, and Nemitz can't crack bottom pairing minutes. I mean, yeah, listen, Nemitz is, struggling a little bit to readjust. I think he's going to be good for somebody. And I think it could be on the Devils. It's just, unfortunate timing, the way it all played out with the other guys kind of commanding playing time over him, whether it was Chalowski or, whoever. And I'm curious to see if he gets in any more games before the playoffs, or if this is kind of now, if Keefe is treating this as like, barring injuries, this is our playoff lineup that you're seeing tonight. And like I said, Seamus Casey would certainly be an exciting kind of element to a playoff roster. Vic said, I'm thinking Jake the Snake might start. I hope it's Markey, because I know Markey wants to be in there for this one, and it's a huge game. I don't really want to see Allen until we're officially in the playoffs. Serve says Austin Matthews is going to break Ovi's record. I don't think so, but let's take a look. Austin Matthews has 398 goals, and he's 27 years old. I mean, a lot has to go right for him. He's had a 60-goal year, a 69-goal, which is crazy last year. This year he's got 30 in 61 games. Yeah, I mean, he has to stay healthy. Right now, he's basically 500 away from Ovechkin. So you're talking about, can he average a 50-goal season for the next 10 years? Or a 40-goal season for 13? The odds are against him. It would be interesting. It would be pretty crazy for an American kid to eventually have the record, but it's going to take a lot of luck for somebody to catch that record. And obviously the number one thing is staying healthy, playing a lot of games. Then you obviously need to be a sniper. Yeah. Matthews on pace, but can he keep it up for 10 to 50? Exactly. And the thing about, not only is Ovechkin playing, but to score, 40 plus goals at age 37 is lunacy. You see tons of the greats over the years, in their mid 30s, it starts to trail off a lot. Yeah, like what did Gretzky? Gretzky didn't have anywhere near his normal output towards the end. His last year for the Rangers, he had 9 goals in 70 games. He had 53 assists. I mean, props to him. 62 points in 70 games in his last season is great. But the year before, he played all 82 and he had 23 goals. 96, 97 for the Rangers, he had 25 goals. 95, 96 between the Kings and Blues, he had 23. And so when you really look at his career, Gretzky's last 40-goal season, 40-plus goal season, was in 90-91. He never scored 40 again after that. And he was in the league for another 9 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 years. I mean, yeah. So you're talking about being able to produce at a super high level. Well, bear with me one second. Michael S. Montreal is going through the same issue with Demidov. I doubt we see either Grits or Demi till next year. I thought I saw something that the Canadians might be getting him. But again, KHL, it's a different beast dealing with all the paperwork and the contracts and shit. So I'm just going to wait to see how it all plays out. Vic, it's WWE at The Rock tonight. It's WWE night. I'm wondering if the wrestler Sheamus will be in attendance. Now, they advertised one guy, and I forget who it was. It was a guy. I don't know any new wrestlers really at all. I only know the old school, like Attitude Era guys. I wouldn't know some of these guys if I ran into them in the streets. What's my thoughts on Gritsuk? I mean, it's exciting. It's an exciting proposition. I mean, at a minimum, he should be a good piece for the bottom 6 with the potential upside of being a top 6. Obviously, if he's a top 6 guy, who wouldn't love to see that, right? I'm not going to assume that that's realistic. I think a lot of people are like slotting him in the top 6 already. Like, there's just no way I would, be confident in believing that that's a guarantee. A lot of people do think it is. I hope that it is, and that he is capable of being a legitimate top 6 guy. But I do think at a minimum, he'll be a great bottom 6 guy. And we're going to need several of them come this offseason, I do believe. Interesting thing to keep an eye on. I'm looking forward to see what he looks like in camp. Damian Yo is planning another video call-in, and would you consider McLeod younger or perhaps reunion with Zaka for next season? Let's go Devils. McLeod younger. Are you talking about? Are you talking about the McLeod on the Sabres? Zaka could be interesting. I'm curious what kind of money he would want. Is he a free agent? He had 59 points last year. This year he's got 45. I don't think he's going to want to leave there, though. Even though the Bruins are kind of a mess. Oh, he's under contract. What are we talking about? He's not a free agent. Alex Matthews won't have the health to play enough games. Ovi barely missed any time over 20 seasons. Yeah, that's the thing. Can you stay healthy? And not only do you have to stay healthy, you have to be ridiculously good. I mean, it's a lot of things that need to go right. And the odds are against anybody to ever break that record, in my opinion. Sir, rumors are are you talking about Petreka? Peterka. Yeah, some of these names are killer. I believe that's the guy Dylan ran over in the in the global series. Adam, you should post more Instagram content. I would love to see that stuff. What stuff are you talking about? I'm trying to get more active on all these platforms. And I will in time. I'll get better at it. But I did put the blog out. If you're talking about the Ovechkin game, Adam, if you go on the channel, the most recent video is a vlog from the game. It has a bunch of cool stuff in it. Robert, what's going on? You have to minus one player on the team to go in the offseason and one to come in from another team and go. I mean, is this like a fantasy where I could just pick any guy that's not realistic? I mean, it's an interesting game. Vic said I heard $11K for glass seats that night. I'd imagine, yeah. I mean, people were desperate to get in the building. History on the line, and Obi delivered, man. The arena went nuts. Dwayne Jetski, looking back at the 21 draft, it's entirely possible that Luke would have been the number one pick in a redraft. Would you take Power over him? I probably wouldn't. I think it's too early to tell. I do like Power's size. But I think it's way too early to tell. We'll find out in the next couple of years. Max says the only comeback Rags fans is little brother syndrome. It's so lame. I don't even know what, like, I almost made a video about like why Rangers fans are delusional. Like, we've won 3 Stanley Cups since their last. They've been in existence forever. Like, I just don't understand why they think they're so special, but I don't want to waste my time talking about it, but it is funny. Like, your last cup was in 94. We won 3 cups since then and knocked you out of the playoffs several times. Like, I don't know what we're even talking about anymore. What's going on, Traveling Devil? Let's go Devils. Gem Card, let me say I'm really glad I took a break before playoffs. Missed the Jets, Canucks, and Calgary game. I'd be seeing a therapist by now if I watched those. Yeah, you got to, it was trying times. Trying times. Matt Jones says, where's all my Luke's at $3-4 million a year guys at now? Matt, those people were always delusional. And that was never realistic no matter what. And it's just become more and more ridiculous, obviously, as time goes on. My initial prediction months ago was 7 to 8 million. I would be ecstatic if it lands in there. I do think a lot of people are speculating that it could be closer to that 9 million. I would love to see it fall in that 7 to 8, but maybe it does end up being more. But it does make the fools like SST that were saying 4 million or 3 million, whatever nonsense he was saying, even more ridiculous when he signs for triple the estimate. Zach, Rangers fans coming in hot in these chats. That's when you know they're doing bad. Some of them are normal. There's been a couple of them, a couple Rangers fans that have been like normal and just come in and bullshit about hockey. Most notably, I know Chris is a Rangers fan. Not my buddy Chris, but a different Chris who pops up sometimes late night. I'll come back to that in a minute. Often Devil says, where's Mike K? Oh, our boy Mike K might be on another troublesome date. And Mike K is out there in the streets just doing his thing. Sir, if Montreal's on a 5-game heater, if they win tonight, they're going to make it. Another team's chasing, going to be in real trouble. It is crazy. Montreal seemingly was dead. I forget when we played them in Montreal. It was even the announcers were talking like their season was done, and I was like, I wasn't counting them out. I mean, they have a lot of good players. And with a lot of the Eastern Conference teams being terrible, let's be honest, a little streak here and there is enough to kind of get you in the mix, and here they are looking to make it. Chief Keefe says Mike has another Tinder meetup. The New York Nobody, the bus shit is pretty damn funny, though. You think they left an insurance card on his windshield. Yeah, I think the New York Nobody's a normal Rangers fan who doesn't come in here and talk smack. I guess you're talking about the bus thing was the Rangers bus hit Celebrini's car or whatever. What a nightmare. Imagine being that bus driver. You have to be fearing for your job for sure. Devil Heaven, holy shit, Ace, the mathematician. Love you, buddy. What was that with the goals? I'm so far behind on the comments. I apologize, guys. I talk a lot. I try to stay as up to the date, but I guess that was when I was doing the trying to figure out the 5-on-5 goals. Maybe I'm trying to think what else involved math, or no, maybe that was for the goal scoring. Yeah, it was probably for the goal scoring. I'm good. The only thing I was good at in school is mental math, like algebra and like arithmetic type stuff I could do. Outside of that, I wasn't good at a lot of stuff in school, but that kind of practical math I was good at. Dart, the great one has the most even strength NHL goals with 617. Yeah, so someone originally said 5-on-5, so I don't know if they actually meant 5-on-5 or even strength. I'm sure, Wayne had some maybe 4-on-4 and 3-on-3s in that 617, but yeah, for even strength, 617, that'll do it. Chief Keef, Ace, and off them got me and off them got lit off tequila with a splash of ginger ale. It's a beautiful drink, isn't it, Chief Keef? And if you get good tequila, it's even better. That's a new staple of mine in the rotation. Tequila with a splash of ginger ale, love it. I don't like the clear tequilas though. I like the brown ones. But yeah, love the tequila with the splash of ginger ale. Shoots, what's going on? Let's go, baby. Pumped up for this game. Let's close this shit out. Oh, I want it. I want 4 in a row. I want to go to be clinching the playoffs tonight and not have to think about it anymore. Sir, have you guys watched Rookie of the Year, Lane Hudson? Do you think he's definitely going to get it? I think there's going to be some other guys in the, well, at least Celebrini. Vic says, Cotter and Nace got to be at full force in the playoffs. They could do some serious damage. Yeah, it's 2 of the guys I've been talking about all year that I have been looking forward to seeing in the playoffs. I think both of them are going to be junkyard dogs, just smashing guys, hopefully get some timely goals. It's going to be wonderful to see. I'm super excited to see playoff edition of both Paul Cotter and Stefan Nason, and you all should be too. Those boys are going to be bringing it in the playoffs, and I'm super pumped for it. Why is Surfside the most hated beverage in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? Vic says, I say whoever wins Devils Carolina goes to the Eastern Conference Finals. I could totally see it. And especially if the Devils somehow won, I feel like they'd be flying high. And you never know. Jacob Markstrom, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Brian, got my playoff beer ready. Made my Norwegian wife a Devils fan. Very nice. Took my daughter to her first Devils hockey game this year. Very cool. How old's your daughter, Brian? Damien, believe it or not, Jack can also set, if not pass the record, mainly because he's at 141 at 23 years old. Needs to stay strong, obviously, but I have faith. Oh, Damien, you're nuts, Damien. There's zero chance, my man. Come on. Even if he played 15 more years, yeah, he would need 50 goals. There's no way. It's a statistical impossibility, Damien. I'm sorry to break it to you. There's zero chance. He would need 15 seasons of 50 goals. He hasn't scored 50 goals once yet, and he's not played 82 games. No chance. Yeah, off them Devils. Let him dream. But dreams die hard. I just thought there's no way. There is no way. Traveling Devil, 0.6 goals a game for Ovi over a lifetime of NHL games. It's crazy. Completely crazy. To think at how high of a level Ovechkin has been doing it. I mean, wow. It's just been dominant since he's come into the league. Jason says it's insane because Ovi barely skates. His shot is just ridiculous. Yeah, whether it's the slapper, the wrister, he just finds the puck, finds him, and he finds a way to bury it in the net. Max, don't forget, Ovi still has a 40-goal season after having a broken leg this year. Austin or Bitch Warner would still be out of the lineup. Yeah. Ovechkin's a grizzly vet. Grizzly vet. Doesn't like missing time. Doesn't miss much time. And you see what he's been able to do. Just completely dominate the league for 20 seasons now. Completely nuts. Chief Q says, the Devils sweep Carolina, I'll climb a light pole. I just want to see them beat them. I don't need a sweep. And a lot of times after teams sweep teams, you kind of see them struggle with being off like for an extended period of time in the playoffs. I don't need to sweep them. Would it be sweet? Absolutely. But I will take a win any way it comes. Yeah, Jason says, love the Devils. No way we sweep Carolina. That'd be pretty wild. When's the last time Carolina lost in the first round? Let's see. So in 1920, they technically lost in the first round, but that was the COVID year. And so there was a qualifying round, which they won. So I don't know if you're counting the qualifying round as the first round or if you're actually calling the first round the first round. But if you count the qualifying round as like the first round, then they won that too. 2021, they lost in the second round to Tampa. 21-22, second round to the Rangers. 22-23 got swept by the Panthers in the conference finals. And then last year lost to the Rangers. So, yeah, if you count that qualifying round during COVID as the true first round, then 17-18, they didn't make the playoffs. So I don't know if you're counting that. If you're just looking for them if you're talking about actually losing in the first round, it's been forever. They missed the playoffs all those years. They made it in 08-09, lost to the Pens. 07-08 didn't make it. 06-07 didn't make it. 05-06 won the cup. 03-04 didn't make it. 02-03 no. 01-02 went to the finals. Wow. So if you're talking about actually losing in the first round, the last time they lost in the first round, obviously this includes tons of years they missed the playoffs. The last time they lost in the first round was to the Devils in 2000-2001. The year the Devils went to the finals. Holy crap. That's pretty insane. Last time they actually lost in the first round. Michael has headed to the liquor store. It's going to be a gin and tonic night. See you at the post game. Enjoy that gin and tonic, my man. Insane Pollock cursed the regular season champions banner for the Rags. I mean, when you hang up something like that, you deserve to follow it up with a stinker season. Who puts that up? Regular season champions is ridiculous. Favorite Devils backup of all time? We talked about this on a post game one night. I think Chris Terreri could be counted as a starter and a backup because he kind of had both phases of his career. But Terreri would be up there if he's eligible, if you're counting him. Dunham is up there. John Van Beesbrook was always a favorite of mine before, for non-Devils before he was on the Devils. Those would probably be my top three in no particular order. Terreri, Dunham, and John Van Beesbrook. Who can Keith get to come here? Bertuzzi, in my opinion. I mean, he just signed. He was a free agent last summer. Max, I think there's some apologies that need to still be deposited for Timo and Markey. Oh, for sure. But Max, do you know how it works, man? Do you think those people are gonna, come clean and deposit those apologies? No, they're the people, like I've said time and time again, that they make a stance at some point in time. They make an opinion or a stance, and then it is their life mission. It is their life mission to never deviate from that stance. And so for the people that say, oh, Timo this, Timo that, they're never going to kind of deposit the apology and be like, I was wrong. Timo's a beast. Or the people that were talking smack about Markey, they're never going to be like, I was wrong. It's just, constant people that want to be proven right because it gives them some sort of, I don't know what it is, validation, or I don't know. But these people have an illness, obviously. I think Luke's going to get signed up long-term, and I think it's going to be, I'm sticking with my initial prediction of 7 to 8 million, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's a little more. Luke, friendly family deal, 8 years at 9.5. Oh man, I don't know that I could call 9.5 million a year a friendly family deal. Damn, that would be wild, but I wouldn't be shocked. The regular season champs banner was their downfall. Vic, maybe it's just me. I really think the Habs could give the Caps a good run for their money. I think so too. I think the Caps definitely could be primed for an upset. And I also think the Senators, let me see what's going on in the Atlantic. Yeah, the Panthers fell out of the race. If the Leafs end up winning the Atlantic, which they probably will. I mean, they have a 2-point lead with a game in hand on the Lightning. I think it's definitely possible that the Senators upset the Leafs. That's going to be a very interesting series. Going to be a very interesting series. Chief said, Ace, man, we got Casa and told him a splash of ginger ale. There was no ginger ale. I mean, yeah, sometimes you got to just, on the rocks. That'll work too. I like to cut it a little bit, but if they give it to me without it, so be it. Bottoms up. In other words, a perfect drink. Dirty Devil 2 cubes, splash of Raz ginger. That's not a bad one. Chief Keef said it was a straight shot. Alex, definitely Hudson's run down the stretch has been historic for a rookie defenseman. How many points does Celebrini have? You guys think Celebrini's definitely toast? He's got 57. Wow. Yeah. This kid's been dominating. I'm looking at his last 5 games. 3 assists on March 30th, 3 assists on April 1st, nothing on April 3rd, a goal on April 5th, and an assist on April 6th. I mean, yeah, it's pretty impressive. 64 points in 77 games as a defenseman is pretty sick. A 21-year-old defenseman. Another Boston University Terrier. Samuel says, get that first goal tonight. Don't make me sweat. You guys know I love a first goal. I love a first goal and playing with a lead. What time is it? 6:06. Lane Hudson might already be a top 5 offensive defenseman. If he's not top 5, he's certainly close, right? I mean, he's going to be ridiculous when he gets older too. 21 years old. It's crazy. Crazy. For Devil, late to the discussion, but what's the deal with Arseny Gritsuk? We're not going to know until it happens. There's a lot of reports out there that he wasn't going to be able to sign until after his contract with his KHL team was up, which I believe was like May 25th or something. But then they're saying, it could all be posturing to try to get something at, I don't know if they're looking for money from the Devils to release him early. So we just wait and see. Just wait and see how it all plays out. I would love to see him here, but, I always thought that was a little bit of a pipe dream just because, guys leaving Russia is always such a complicated thing, or so it seems. It is what it is. Tasha says, I think he's signing for next year. Vic, peace out, gang. Back for the post game. Let's go Devils. Let's go 4 in a row. Would be nice. 4 Devil, tiny but eyebrow raising KHL numbers. Yeah, the size worries me a little bit. As does, will the game his game translate from KHL to the NHL? And we're not going to know until we see it. We've seen plenty of cases of guys where it did, plenty of cases of guys where it didn't. And so, yeah, waiting to see. I would love to see him come in and be an impact player. That would be nice. Steven says, Merry Clinchmas. Let's not jump the gun, Steven, but hopefully that is the case. Samuel says, how much longer can Ovi play? Well, he's signed for next season. I believe he probably could be capable of playing a few more years after that if he wanted to. The question is, how much longer is he going to want to play for? I would love to see him stick around for another couple of years after that. It'd be crazy if he somehow played for like 3 more years after this one and got the record to 1,000. It'd be psychotic. Merry Clinchmas. I love it. Max, if we do get by Carolina, we better have more than 1 day rest. I still feel kind of ripped off by the NHL after 2 years ago. Yeah, the quick turnaround was kind of shitty. We got out of that first round war with the Rangers, and it was right back into action. Wasn't it like only 1 day? It was like whatever the night was of the game 7. I think it was like 1 day off, and then the next day in the afternoon was the first game, if I'm not mistaken. It was like, not even 2 days off or 48 hours in between games. It was like 36 hours or something. The weightlifting lab says, I don't think there's any way we beat Carolina. Unfortunately, we're just too soft. Shame on you, weightlifting lab. Come the playoffs, I'm hoping for just a whole new world where this team just steps it up and was like, we want to just take these guys out. Rip Rogers, Smokey Johnson. Sounds like Carolina is due for a first-round loss. I would love to see it. It's crazy. They haven't lost one in forever. Clemmer, I like Clemmer too. I think he was on my top 5 list of Devils backups. Max likes Hedberg. Yeah, the March of Meyer continues on into April, right? Wow. And hopefully he could do it in May and June. Weightlifting lab. Timos are called to mute. What the hell's wrong with people that don't see him as an incredibly valued member of this team? They're the people that just look at points, man. They're just like, oh, he gets 9 million. He should be scoring 80 points. Like, the people are nuts. I forget. I meant to get to find the clip. In the first, I think it was the first period of the Ranger game, Timo trucked a Ranger and sent him flying. I forget who it was. It was a beautiful display of physical domination over an opponent. But, people just, a lot of these people are just valuing the straight up goals and want goals and nothing else. And so when you talk about intangibles and things like this, they just completely discredit it because, it doesn't fit their narrative. Yeah, I do think Otto is going to be very tough for sure. And Supamaki goes, Devils 4, Bruins nothing. I would love to see that. Samuel, 9 million sounds high, but 4 or 5 years it will sound cheap. No, I completely agree. And that's what all these kind of deals are. They seem maybe a little bit of an overpayment up front, but then you hope that it's looking like a deal in years to come based on the cap going up, obviously, and then the player getting better. And so we might be looking at a situation like that with Luke for sure. Would love to see it closer to the 7-8 million, but we're going to find out, I'd imagine, fairly soon. Ford Devil says life would be complete if Keefe gets a series win and the Leafs get bounced. I think that the Leafs definitely could get bounced by Ottawa. I'll be rooting for Ottawa big time. Darth Rye says Hudson controls the game like no rookie should. He deserves that Calder. If Montreal makes the playoffs, it has to be Hudson for Calder. Yeah, I think I just checked. He's been on a tear lately, as someone pointed out. And so it does seem like he would get it. To have that ridiculous point total as a defenseman is crazy. Too many drinks on that spelling. Zupamaki called him. He was unique. He'd be a superstar nowadays. I don't know about a superstar, but I think he'd be kind of known. I mean, he was known when he played. Devil have an ace. Most infamous mafia boss in history? Ooh, that's a good question. Totally random. Most infamous mafia boss in history? I'm going to have to go with, I'm assuming you're talking about non-fictitious. You're talking about non-fiction mafia bosses. If we're talking about real life gangsters, I'm going to have to go with the Teflon Don John Gotti. Would have to be, to me, the most infamous mafia boss in history. I mean, Al Capone would be up there too, but he wasn't one of the New York. When I hear mafia boss, I'm thinking like the New York, the Five Families. But yeah, it's funny. Michael, I think Luke shows up huge in the playoffs. He's my pick for playoff hero. Let's go Devils. Would love it. He could be another guy that just kind of explodes in the playoffs and could, end up like a nearly point a game guy or something close to it, and be an X factor as well. St. Pollock Hudson looking like Makar when he came into the league. Everyone hit the like. Thank you for that. What's going on, Sherry? Samuel says it's the Twins who hate Timo. Who are the Twins? Swamp Fox would love for Fitz to pick up Zetz in the offseason. Well, he didn't get him when he could have got him for basically a second rounder. Supposedly, I think Zetterland's agent might be Claude Lemieux as well. It is. So his agent is Claude Lemieux as well. And it's been reported. That I think Zetterland was looking for like something like $5 or $6 million a year from San Jose. And so I think Mike Greer realized, like, I'm not going to pay him that. So he just freaking traded him because he was like, well, what's the point of hanging on to him? San Jose's not doing anything this year. And so I think he just said, screw it. And they moved on from him. So I would have taken him as a rental, to be honest, and then hoped he wanted to be back here with this team and would have signed for cheaper. But I would, if we used a second rounder on Dumoulin, who's going to end up being a rental, so why not use one on Zetterland? He could have definitely helped us down the stretch and in the playoffs. Dean Smith says, Timo is awesome when they keep him on the right wing where he belongs. Timo on the right is beautiful. Damien says Timo on the right wing today, allegedly. Ryan, are we getting Gritzuk or Fitz not working the phone? I'm sure he's trying to get him here, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it plays out. I always say I don't believe these guys are gonna be here till they're here because, again, getting guys out from Russia with the KHL and all the stuff, it's just a lot. There's a lot of kind of baloney involved, and that's why I'm just like, when I hear that they're at the arena, then I'll believe it because it's just a lot of steps, I guess, to get them here. Weatherton Lab says Luciano or Capone. Jay Snow, Gambino guy, last his whole life, died an old man. 1 point tonight for the Devils clinch, keeping up with the Devils. Clinch City. I thought Zetterland is he a restricted free agent then? Is that what it is? Yeah, I think he's restricted. Max, do you think Lazar is going to be back next year? Love the guy, but he hasn't done anything this year. No, I don't think so. I like Lazar. Seems like a really cool guy, but I just think at this point we need more production in the bottom six, and I do think Fitz will kind of maneuver in that way. Jay Snow says no way. Damien, so should we pursue Ryan McLeod with the whole thing with the family? I think the Devils avoid that like the plague as well. 4 Devil, 1 pointer, Rags, Blink, whichever comes first. Damien, arguably great season when he played for Edmonton, did go to Cup Finals and played great on an inconsistent Buffalo team. Let me see what we got here. Dun, dun, dun. Don Carlo or Mr. Gambino, aka the Hawk. Zach, what's up? I'm so late to this, but let's clinch tonight. Yeah, let's get 4 in a row and clinch. Clinch. Jason, how are we getting a big time winger or center in the offseason? We are not unless Dougie and or Palat are moved. And I don't think that's going to happen just yet. And so I do think a lot of people are going to be disappointed, but I think most of the offseason moves are going to be kind of bottom 6, tinkerings, if you will. Guys coming in to replace guys that won't be brought back in the bottom 6. I expect fully for Glass to be one of the guys signed at least for a few years. I do think they like what they have in him, and I do think he could be a nice bottom 6 piece. I do expect him to get signed, and I think there's going to have to be at least a couple guys a couple guys brought in from the outside. Yo, Holmes, what's going on? What's up, Ace? We are putting this baby to bed. I hope so. 4 in a row, playoffs secured. Let's get it. Jay Snow says Luke will eat up most of the $14 million. He'll take up a nice chunk of it, but there's guys coming off too. It's going to be tight, though. It's going to be tight, and I think because of that, they're going to have to. I do think Fitz in his head probably wants to bring Jake Allen back, but you just can't spend that money. You got to go to Nico Dawes. What's going on, Doug? Damien, I mean, look, I get trying to avoid the whole drama, but brother sins do not reflect on him. Yeah, I personally, don't give a shit about that stuff when we're talking about the guy's brother, but I do think the team will care. I personally don't, but I think the team will, just because you know how people look for drama and like to stir shit up, and so I think they'll avoid it at all costs. But, I'm not saying I agree with it. I think you should try to get the best players eligible to play in the league that you can. But I think that angle is definitely a deterrent on a player like him, related to a guy. Shroomgoon, unsung hero to the season is Jake Allen. Without him, we wouldn't be in this position, but probably gone next year. Completely agree. We relied on him big time when Markey went down. He played some great games, stole some wins, kept us competitive. Even in some of the losses he had, we would have been probably blown out if it wasn't for his play. I have nothing but good things to say about, Jake Allen's season this year. Jason, you signed Glass and Luke. There's nothing left. Yeah, I know. That cap's going to be tight. Rip Rogers, Smokey Johnson, offer sheet, Zetterlund, and Nyes take a page out of the Blues book. It will be interesting to see if teams start utilizing the offer sheets more. And I wanted to see if they kind of did it, they re-outlined the compensation, because with the cap going up now, the compensation is dependent on the value of the contract. So as the contracts, like an $8 million a year player now or this offseason is not what an $8 million player was maybe, 4 years ago. So I've been waiting to see if there's going to be like new guidelines on that. That's something interesting for sure. Samuel Cotter with 16 goals is our best bottom 6. The Twins were Stu and Pitt. Cotter's been great. I do think Glass comes back. Oh, I've completely lost faith in Fitz too, but that doesn't mean he's not going to try to sign the guy. We'll see. Ace, you ever fire up NHL 25, the game? Good time. No, I haven't played NHL since probably like 2010 or 11 regularly. I'm an old man now. Jace, no, I really think Fitz has to move Dougie. He's making $9 million. I'm not trying to hate on him, but this team needs improvement. I don't think it's going to be easy with the injury. Sherry, everyone wearing your Lucky Devils jersey shirts. I'm sporting Nico for this one. Very nice. Ryan Demand says bring Toffoli back. Toffoli's just too slow. Great shot, though. I think they like him in San Jose, and I'm sure he likes it there. Vince Glass is definitely coming back, in my opinion. He's been pretty good. I think Halla is a buyout candidate if he's not traded. I could see that potentially. But then with the penalty, if you buy him out, what are you replacing him with? And is that really a savings? Four Devils says, love Dougie, but I'm concerned with the trade value. All right, that's it. I got to wrap this up. Devils, big one tonight. We think it's going to be Markey versus Swayman. Devils looking to get that elusive 4-game winning streak, looking to punch their ticket to the playoffs with 1 point in this one, but I want the win and the 4 games in a row. Thank you all for coming out. I'll be back with the post-game live after. If you're just joining us or recently joining us, I was able to witness NHL history once again when Alex Ovechkin broke Gretzky's record at UBS Arena against the Islanders. I just dropped the link in the chat to the vlog. If you haven't seen that, check it out. I got a lot of cool footage of the big day for Ovi at UBS Arena. And that's it, guys. That's it. Wow. Big one tonight. Fired up. I got to go do a couple things before this pregame comes on. And yeah, I'm fired up. Hopefully we're celebrating a big win and a playoff berth. Hopefully it is a party tonight on the post-game live. Victory beverages for everybody. I might light off some fireworks. Who knows? But that's it. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. I think Timo's going to have another big game, and I think Brader might go nuts too. But, oh, man, I can't wait. Love some fisticuffs as well. I'm always looking for the fisticuffs. But see you guys after the game. Hopefully we're celebrating. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.